one that I'm absolutely, the more I hear it, the more I love that one from Jordan St. Cyr. Hey, it's your old mate DJ Payne here on the telly. Let's Go with DJ Payne is the name of the show. And this is our time on a Wednesday. Let's see, it's about 20 minutes past 8, where we do a segment that I don't have a name for yet. You know how bad I am with names. And it's basically just me sharing my heart, trying to share a little bit about what I think God is teaching me at the moment, maybe what I'm struggling through. So, we just take a moment, and it can get a little bit awkward, can get a little bit weird with us here. So I want to talk to you about something that I think we've all been struggling with lately in one way or the other, and that is the concept of fear. Fear. You might have seen it on a bookmark or a bumper sticker or an Instagram post or something like that on social media. God tells us to fear not and don't be afraid. And he thinks of that so much that he put it in the Bible 365 times, one for every day. Look, that's a lovely thought. And you can read something about fear in the Bible once every day if you want. There is not 365 times in the Bible where God says fear not. God has put in the Bible the concept of don't be afraid, fear not, depending on what translation you read. Be not afraid, don't be afraid. That appears in the Old and New Testament, between 100 to 120 times. Again, depending on the translation and how you're measuring it there, not 365. And, I don't want to take away from that, that lovely thought. It is a lovely thought, but it's just not true. The word fear appears in the Bible at least 500 times, talking about it in all the different circumstances. And so the Bible has plenty to say on this concept of fear. But I want to tell you something that I think I've seen happen over the last, I don't know when, I want to say decade. I'll be generous and say a decade, but something that I've noticed that's really turned up to 11 in the last couple of years. And that is, I believe that the world is setting up. And when I say the world, I haven't got my tinfoil hat on. I'm not talking about some great conspiracy out there. I'm just talking about human nature and the way that everything works. I believe that the world has set up a new religion, or is in the process of setting up a new religion, all right? And no, it's not going to be formal with a church or anything like that, but it is, deep in the heart of every human being is a desire to be involved in religion. We are all religious beings. We believe in something like that. Even if we don't believe in anything, we become very religious about not believing in anything. And I believe that the world has got a new religion all about fear. Well, actually, I would say the new name of the religion is safety. Safety is the new religion of this age that we live in. In the name of safety, we can do all sorts of horrible things. We've seen that throughout history. And I'm not getting political here, and please don't switch off and go, oh, DJ's on a political rant. What's going on? No, nothing like this. I want to encourage you. Trust me, I want to encourage you here. But to encourage you, I've got to give you the bad news first. I think in the name of this new religion of safety, all right? And I'll tell you how I first realized that this was a problem. I realized that the most encouraging, fun times, the times where I grew the most in my life, especially as a child, and let's not even talk about spiritual things. Let's talk about just, becoming a human being, is when I was a child growing up in the 70s and the 80s, I was allowed to go ride off on your bike all day and be gone all day. And my parents weren't worried about safety. They weren't worried about, parenting in the way that, parents are worried about safety now. We got ourselves in all sorts of trouble and scraps. We did some crazy things that were totally unsafe. And yes, I know that's dangerous, but that's the point. And I came across an amazing study on the safety of playgrounds and how playgrounds have gotten more safe over the last, couple of generations. Kids are basically getting more and more dumb and don't take risks and don't do the things. I mean, someone broke their arm on a monkey bars, we need to get rid of the monkey bars in the name of this new, paradigm that controls everything, and it is safety, in the name of safety. Well, if that's the new religion, right? If safety is the new religion, here's my proposal to you. If safety is the new religion, then one of the new virtues, virtues in this religion is fear. Gone are the virtues. You can't have virtues like chastity and temperance and charity and kindness, humility, all the virtues that we've talked about in the past. Those virtues are going. Get rid of those virtues. And one of the number one virtues that we live with today is fear. Fear. And if that is a new virtue in this new religion, then if you're not afraid, if you're living a life that's not afraid, then you're breaking the rules of the new religion. I don't live in fear. I'm not afraid of what the world is telling me to be afraid of. And because of that, I'm going against the rules. I'm breaking the rules of this new religion of safety, right? So I want to encourage you of the right type of fear. The right type of fear that the Bible talks about is fearing God. Living for the audience of one, Him being the center of the real religion out there. And following God, I hate to tell you, is not safe. Not safe by the world's standard. And we need to learn how to control this fear. I want to give you a couple of verses, one from the Old Testament and one from the New Testament. In Isaiah 42, and I know Isaiah is talking to the Israelites. He's talking to the Jewish people of his day, but I believe that this is for us as well. He says in verse 9 of Isaiah 42, he says, this is God speaking, I have called you back from the ends of the earth so you can serve me. For I have chosen you and I will not throw you away. So don't be afraid. For I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my victorious right hand. Man alive. That is fantastic. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed. And then, if you know me, you know my favorite book is the book of Hebrews in the New Testament. And I'm always wanting to end up in the book of Hebrews. And I want to give you this. The writer of Hebrews says, be satisfied with what you have. For God has said, I will never fail you. I will never forsake you. And that is why we can say with confidence, the Lord is my helper, so I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? And that's a quote from Psalm 118 that the writer of Hebrews is putting in there. So my encouragement to you, that might sound pretty muddled, but my encouragement to you is don't be afraid. Don't get sucked into this new paradigm, this new religion that it wants you to be afraid. Because when you're afraid, you're a great consumer. When you're afraid, you do what you're told. When you're afraid, the voices of others are going to get louder than the voice of God saying not to be afraid because He is with us. And we don't live in this, fantasy world where there isn't crazy things going on around us. We can see that, but our hope and our strength comes from God. And there can only be one thing sitting on the throne there. It can either be this concept of being safe or the concept of God. I don't believe both can be sitting on there, and we follow God's way. That's my thought. That's where God is dealing with me at the moment. Hopefully that's encouraging to you as well. Let's get back into the show. Thank you for putting up with me in talking about all of that. This is a song from Cole McSween, New Reality. It's what I'm trying to live in here.